the thing I don't like about when they say that they ban people because of hate speech and harassment or whatever, it's like if you say anything that the right believes, it like they chalk that up as harassment or hate speech of some kind. Like there's a lot of things that the right, like just stating
Well,
things that the right believes
like what?
that it could be considered hate speech. Like just saying like saying that gay people shouldn't be allowed to get married or something like that. Like that would be considered hate speech, and that's really just a belief that the right believes,
I
but that
think,
would be considered hate speech. But
but
there's a lot of things like that.
I think any right that strips away another's right isn't a right. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, Zach, but at the same time, it is kind of hate speech. And it's
Well, I
fucking,
mean,
it's 2020. If
there's
dudes
lots of
want to
things
get
like
married, let them get married, dude.
I know, and then I know, but there's a lot like that's not the only thing. Like
No,
there's
I get what
all
you're
kinds
saying.
of things that the right believes that they're not allowed to say anything about because it would be considered harassment or hate speech of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say, like, their stance on abortion probably wouldn't be hate speech or harassment or
Right.
anything like that.
But
But when they start,
they would consider that if you said like you don't think um women should be allowed to get abortions, like that could be considered in some kind of way harassment or something.
My
to
biggest
me, go ahead, James.
my biggest thing is like, okay, can't get abortion, but hey, we're not gonna teach you about contraception. We're not gonna teach you about sex ed because it goes
Yeah.
against our religious beliefs, and it just creates unwanted babies and stuff like that cause more abortions in the first place. It seems like if you're going at a logical perspective, a lot of the schools, a lot of the religious teachings and stuff like that are very anti-sex ed, but they're very also anti-abortion. So it's like a double fucking whammy.
The only time I would say it's like harassment or something like that is when they literally stand outside of a
One sec.
when
Yeah,
they
but
stand outside of a Planned Parenthood and they're
yeah,
like,
talking about Reddit right now.
yeah, no, I know. I
Like
get what
that
you're
would
saying though.
I think that's harassment too. Like if you're outside, quote unquote, protesting outside of a Planned Parenthood, yelling at the people going in,
Telling them they're going to hell and stuff like that.
that should be considered harassment.
Absolutely, 100%. Because that's just stupid. Let people do what the fuck they want, dude. I don't
Mic
care.
on.
Just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean that you should uh, make it even harder for people to make
Mic
such a
off.
difficult decision.
Yeah. Like, they use the argument that, well, if you don't want to raise the baby, put it up for adoption. People don't adopt because it's so fucking expensive.
Not just that, the process itself is so fucking long as well.
How much is it to adopt?
I don't know the exact number.
Last I
Why
heard,
do you even have to adopt anyways?
last I heard, it was like close to 10,000 plus at least.
Hey,
Weren't y'all thinking about that at one point, James?
Yeah, we still are. I mean, if it came down to it, I don't know if we want to go through a third child, but we've always wanted a girl.
yeah,
But yeah,
three sounds like a lot.
yeah.
So this is the cost of adoptions.
Why do you even have to pay? Like,
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Well,
Why do you have to
adopt-
pay to raise the kid?
you're not.
where does all that money even go?
You have to jump through like a variety of hoops that are kind of. It's daunting. Like you don't just.
Like unnecessary.
I don't know if it's unnecessary
Dude, they have,
because
they have
it does ultimately like help you. Like you have to like prove stability, and you've got to do a bunch of other stuff, and they do house visits.
they have a return policy for this adoption center.
Jesus Christ!
If you don't like your child, you have a
Please
30-day
return
warranty.
it. Yeah.
We got a 30-day return policy. No.
12 months or
Why?
12,000 miles, you can get a new baby.
Yeah.
My child is broken.
Did you fucking like adopt him? Do you want a warranty on this on this kid?
I really don't like this one. Can I try that one this time?
We offer
But no, so
accident warranties.
the average cost for adoption is 40 to 50,000.
Holy moly! So it's a lot more than I thought it was. I think it's probably the
Yeah.
entire process then.
That's part of college.
Yeah. and I get it. Like it's great to adopt, but like you said, Zach, there's no reason that you should have to pay.
Yeah, I
Like
think
maybe paying to like if that money goes to supporting the kids that are currently in the adoption center, maybe, but that's an absurd amount of money.
so. I think there's like ways to get around it, and but it's kind of risky a little bit, and at the same time, not really. But you can foster, and then they pay you. So you foster,
Yeah,
they pay you, and this is what we were thinking about because I mean we can't obviously no one can like reasonably like a middle class family couldn't afford 50,000 like just out of pocket. You got to save up for years and years just to get that kind of change. But you can foster, they'll pay you. And we talked about when we fostered, or if we were going to foster, that we just do a savings account and then save it up and then finally adopt. I think
well,
that's a lot.
I know you get like bigger, like you get a huge tax break when you adopt,
Yeah.
like even bigger than just having a kid. You get like a much bigger break on your taxes with that kind of stuff.
Well, that settles it. I'm getting one.
No
Yep,
matter.
just adopt it and make it pay your taxes for you, dude.
I adopted you for the
Dude,
tax break.
teach it to do your taxes. There you go. You see that? Yeah. You're gonna be my tax break.
Yeah,
can-
as soon as you adopt them and they're in the car, don't expect any special privileges because I'm just using you for taxes. I'm probably
You're
never
going
going to
into-
talk to you again.
You're going into the kennel.
Yeah.
See, and the sad thing about that, dude, is a lot of the people who foster are like that, dude.
they're
Like you said, Zach, they're terrible fucking people. They're doing it because they're getting paid to do it.
yeah, there are houses out there that make a living off fostering kids, and it's a big yikes. And it's not even, you know what's worse? You know what's really bad? Is that it starts off with good intentions and it's probably like a first generation foster house and stuff like that. And it gets handed down, and those kids don't have the same, the kids that are now running it don't have the same, drive to do what their parents did. So they're fucking ended up like abusing these kids.
The fact that adoption is even a thing blows my mind. Like, I mean, it's a great thing, like for foster homes and stuff like that. It's fucking fantastic. But just the idea of being able to adopt a child and you pay for the child, right? So you're buying a kid like
Yep.
you would buy a dog when you adopt it. And it's
Well,
fucking
what else you propose?
I don't know. Like I don't have any other things that you could do, but it's just so weird that
So
you can adopt a dog and then at the same time you could go and adopt a child.
So I don't know if there shouldn't be like an absorbent amount like there is, like 40 or 50,000 seems like a lot. I mean, there's probably things that you can do like fuck, what am I thinking of? You can like obviously do welfare checks and stuff like that, and maybe like overall checks of like, can you actually afford to take care of yourself now? What's your income, credit, et cetera, to like figure out like if you're actually a stable person and backgrounds and stuff like that. I'm all for that. I don't know.
So you're telling me that it's harder to adopt than it is to become a cop?
Well, I don't know. There's two separate things. I know it's harder to adopt than to buy a gun.
Yeah, buying a gun is easy. Like my brother,
Especially here in Texas.
It's weird is the laws that, because I'm a gun owner, and it's weird that with the laws in Texas, like you have to have someone to broker you the gun or something like that. Or you have to hire someone to receive the gun and then put it in and transfer it in your name or something like that. I'm
like
really
my brother literally just went to Dick's Sporting Goods the other day and bought a rifle and came home with it.
oh,
Your
shit.
brother doesn't seem like the kind to carry a rifle or
All
to
they
buy
do-
a rifle.
All they do is run a background check on you, and if you're good, then you get a gun that day.
They don't do any kind of mental health screenings or anything like that.
And then we took it to the gun range just yesterday, and no ID checks, no nothing. We paid for it and went out to the range, shot some guns.
That's so stupid.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like definitely a big mix.
Like I think everybody should have a gun if they want one, but like there should definitely be more precautions when it comes to buying one.
Yeah, I think more laws are like restricting access to certain things definitely, like, you can see in statistics that it does make it harder for criminals and stuff to get a hold of it, and the law-abiding citizen that actually uses the gun, it definitely shows that they're willing to jump through a little more hoops. But I don't know, it's weird because there's so many loopholes nowadays that you can kind of get your hands on anything you want.
I mean, the thing is that criminals are going to get their gun illegally, most likely, anyways. So it really, it's like if you made it harder, then all they would do is steal a gun from somebody, or somebody would just buy a gun for them, and they would just
Well, that's
keep
the
it
thing. You can't. Yeah, you
you know.
can't legally buy a gun for someone else.
No, I know you can't, but if
point.
it's a criminal, like
That's the
No,
point.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but yeah.
There's a lot of there's just too much loopholes, and there's so much talking points on it that I don't think any time in our lifetime will there be any movement on the whole Second Amendment thing, regardless if you're like against it. It's just not gonna happen.
as long as guns are in circulation, then criminals are gonna be able to get it, regardless if it's a legal way or not legal way.
Yeah, I mean, they're always going to be there, no matter what. But I think we should hop into these questions that we were asked about.
We got popular questions.
That's good, dude. I like when you do little sing-songy things, dude. It's so adorable.
Popular questions.
Oh shit! Did he hit that note?
Hell yeah, he did, dude, didn't he? Okay, so if you were stranded on a deserted island and you could only have one item, what would it be?
One item on a stranded island.
So, do you have your clothes, or would that be the item?
I feel like I mean,
let's say, for sake's purpose, that you have your clothes and shoes. And
okay.
That's it.
Okay. So, what would you take onto a deserted island, Zach?
One item. I mean, I would want to go with some kind of fire starter thing, or just like what about a kit? Does that count as one item?
No, because there would be multiple items within the kit. But you don't think you would eventually learn how to start your own fire?
No, it's so incredibly difficult.
It's like some Tom Hanks shit now.
Yeah, like literally people that know how to do it have like when I watch those survival shows, they'll go for hours trying to do the whole stick method, and it's like it's so unreliable and it takes so much energy.
I mean, I guess, but
so if there was like an item that is like a combination of things, like a flint, it's like a flint starter, it's also like a hatchet, it's also like I would get something like that.
But that's multiple items, though. It's not just one item.
Oh, it's one item that has multiple uses.
I definitely already have my item.
What is it, dude?
Forget the fire, dude. You guys gonna be fucking like talking about fires and matches and shit like that. I'm bringing a solar satellite phone, dude. 100%.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I knew you were gonna go somewhere with that.
I'm not fucking staying on a fucking island. You guys have fun jerking off with your clothes.
I'm bringing a boat.
Yeah, he's gonna bring a fucking boat. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck you guys for finding loopholes, dude.
It's not my fault. I didn't ask the question.
Like,
I wouldn't even worry about a fire, though.
I'm bringing the entire U.S. with me.
You know what? It's either that, if it's either a satellite phone, or it's the water filter thing. You know, you can drink clean water. That's a good one as well.
Oh, that straw thing?
Yeah, the straw or something that's a little more durable. What would you bring, Trevor?
Dude, I'd bring a bed.
You bring a bed?
What?
Yeah, dude,
you would die in that bed. You would die in that bed so quickly.
Yeah,
would you die in the bed if you just floated across the ocean with the bed?
Those beds.
Why couldn't you just make your own bed?
Dude, you're not gonna make a bed out of leaves.
You could make a bed out of. There's those big leaves that are probably real comfortable if you have enough of them.
Dude, it's a leaf though. Leaves aren't comfortable.
How do you know?
Because, dude, when I was a kid, I would just jump in a pile of leaves.
Dude, there are some like those big leaves. If you put a big pile of them and made a little pillow with those leaves, like I'm sure it's pretty comfortable.
I mean, it's obvious. It's obviously not gonna be like better than the bed, but at least he's gonna fucking like. He's gonna survive. You're just gonna die.
You bought a bed to die in.
You're dang right, dude.
We bought a zoo and you bought a bed.
Have you guys not learned that if something bad happens, I just want to die and not deal with it?
Oh.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with the zombie apocalypse, dude. I wouldn't want to fucking do it. Just fucking kill me. Let me die.
Is it the same thing with your regular life?
Sometimes.
Jesus.
Depends what's going on.
Do we need to talk?
Yeah, you're right.
No, dude, fuck you. I want an apology, dude.
Got a number for you if you need it.
No, but yeah, dude, I don't know if I'd actually take a bed or not, but you know what? I'd take a mobile home. Give me a mobile home, dude. That's what I'm taking. Fuck you guys. You're not even allowed inside.
There can't be anything in the mobile home. It's just the home itself.
Yeah, and it has a carpet and everything.
No,
dude.
it can't.
That's
have
all
carpet.
you need.
The carpet.
Dude, you said you would take a kit with other stuff in it.
No, I asked if we could
No. You said that's what you would take, dude.
You didn't even bother asking. You just said, oh, I'm bringing more than one thing.
Not just the mobile home, dude.
Screw the rules. I'm bringing more than one thing.
I'm just bringing a home.
Actually, why are we only bringing one thing? Like, how do we end up in the situation where we only have one thing and nothing else?
You know what, dude?
Don't question the viewers, Zach.
Yeah, fuck you for asking that, dude.
Yeah.
Who
How
cares?
do we end up in a situation where there's no boat, there's no parachute thing, there's literally nothing but one item?
How did Tom Hanks end up with a volleyball, dude?
How did we
Hey,
get there?
don't hit on Wilson.
Dude,
like
I really think that Tom Hanks fucked that volleyball during that
that.
movie.
Wait, it doesn't have a hole. Like, would you just dry hump it?
Maybe. I don't know, dude.
It's got that little hole with where you put the air in.
I mean, you gotta have a small peepee for that one.
Well, we don't know what Tom Hanks is like.
Yeah, we don't know if he's packing or not. Dude.
Can you imagine like him getting back with Wilson, and then like what now? What does he do with Wilson? He just keep talking to him, or throw him away, or what the fuck
dude,
happens?
They fall in love after that, dude.
Yeah, dude.
After they have sex, they just fall in love.
Jeez Louise.
That's all you need on an island, dude, is love.
He tells his wife back at home, he's like, "I'm sorry, there's someone else."
And then he moves the ball in.
She already pulled that
Takes
shit.
Wilson, him and Wilson walk down the aisle together.
Roll down the aisle for Wilson.
And Wilson's parents are there watching the whole thing.
What would the parents of a volleyball be, dude? Like a soccer ball and a...
No, there would be one volley and there would be one ball.
All right, fair enough. That's good. I'll allow it, dude.
This doesn't make fucking sense at all, dude. All right,
Mom would be a volley and Dad would be a ball.
Let's go on to the next one. What are some challenges you think the next generation will face? What's the next generation's name? Like, is it the next generation?
They're Zoomers, dude. They're the Zoomers.
No. What's after the Zoomers?
Yeah, what's after Gen Z?
I don't think there is an after Gen Z yet.
Okay, well, those are the people we're talking about, right?
Those people.
Yeah.
Or we can talk about Zoomers.
Are we the next generation,
dude? I don't know. They fucking like, if we're talking about what we're gonna face, we're all fucked. I don't understand,
dude. You know what we're gonna have to face? We're gonna have to face the boomers destroying the housing market, so we can't even buy a house.
They already did that.
Huh?
They already did that. They already did
exactly. That's one of the challenges.
They literally. Okay, fucking. I'm get so mad about this because.
Here we go. Oh dang! You triggered him.
Destroy the housing market, right? Fucking enact laws to protect the same thing, like to protect the consumers and stuff like that with the housing market, so they can't make the risky investments in the banks that were too big to fail again. They enact all these policies.
I think there will probably be robots.
No.
For the next generation, dude.
They enact all these policies. Yeah, dude, shut the fuck up, Trevor. Enact all the policies.
That's about the housing market.
Yeah, dude. Exactly, dude. Enact all the fucking policies to disable what the banks already did. Trump gets elected, repeals Dodd-Frank and all the policies, and we're literally back to square fucking one.
Who's Dodd-Frank?
Dodd-Frank was the laws that passed to protect, basically the laws after the housing market crash. They were instituted to basically make sure that the banks couldn't make risky investments, or couldn't do the things they were doing, like generate the
money.
No, not the money. The fucking Trump. What is it called? Fuck.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's called fuck.
No,
It's called fuck you.
To generate the fox.
no, I'm trying to.
Yeah, dude. But I think that's a challenge they would face, dude. Is fucking robots. Because Elon Musk is already making it to where the Tesla can go out on its own and pick people up and work for Uber. So yeah, they're gonna have to battle robots, dude. And I think it's the iRobot kind of robots that they're gonna have to battle.
No.
No, it's gonna be the dog from Boston Dynamics. Those
Like
are gonna be the
dog
robots.
soldiers, dude. That's a movie.
Like it's Black Mirror. It's an
Oh,
episode
sure.
of Black Mirror.
You might be right, dude. But do you guys really think there would be robots? How long do you think we are off from like legit AI
What are you talking
in a
about?
body?
Legit AI?
That has
Like
nothing.
in a body.
That has nothing to do with the question.
What do you mean?
That has nothing to do with the question.
Yeah, it
I
is,
don't
dude.
know. I kind of like that question.
I mean, it's a good question, but it's not what we were asked.
Wait, what was the question again?
Fuck.
We're so unprofessional.
I don't fucking.
It's about the next generation, dude.
Yeah. What?
Oh yeah,
What?
what are some challenges that? So yeah, that has something to do with the next.
Yeah, it's the robots, dude.
Dude, AI robots jerking me off? That's not a challenge. That's a privilege for me. I'm gonna be.
They're not gonna be jerking you off. Have you ever jerked off with metal, dude?
Okay, you're not gonna act like they can't put silicone and stuff around a metal finger. They can get a fucking AI, but they can't put silicone around it.
So the real problem, the real challenge that the next generation faces is actually being born in the first place, because all the sex robots
Yep.
and all of the pleasure machines and all of that will never need sex again. There won't be another generation of kids. Boom.
I think
Simple
they're gonna
as
be. They're gonna be too embarrassed to be using the AI fucking sex bots, and old man me is not gonna give a fuck. I'm just gonna keep doing it
In public.
in public. I'm gonna act
That's
crazy
right.
like I have Alzheimer's or something. If I fucking if when I get old, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking wax that shit, 100%.
You're gonna whack off in public?
I'm gonna fucking do anything that I want, and then I'm just gonna blame it on old age.
Yeah, you could. You could
Oh,
blame
sorry.
anything.
I thought I was in the house. I'm sorry about that, partner. That is a good excuse for old folks, though, dude. I don't
Yep.
know how I got here. I was watching a porno on the television, and next thing I know, I'm getting arrested. What the fuck happened?
What is
I don't know
happening?
how. I don't know how I ended up here humping your leg.
Are you my son?
Sir, please leave my kid alone.
Dude, defense mechanism numero uno, just shit yourself.
Dude, I do that now.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody gets in my face, dude, I just poop on myself.
Oh, yeah, they can't do anything. No one wants
Yeah,
to.
because they smell it and they're like, what the fuck?
They're like, is that Chipotle?
Did this dude just shit himself?
You know, I've never actually had Chipotle, dude.
I think I've had it like one time in my life.
I don't think I've ever had it.
I'm so uncultured when it comes to restaurants.
So other than jerking off AIs and stuff like that, or robots and stuff like that, I think that there's going to be a financial crisis that's going to affect us mainly, and then is going to trickle down to them for years to come. There's big talks about tech bubbles. There's big talks about real estate bubbles and stuff like that. Definitely the coronavirus is basically fucking up that shit to 90.
Dude, at one point, the price of oil was so low that oil companies were
negative
paying
money.
people to take it. Yeah, oil companies were paying people to take the oil.
You just couldn't store it or stock it. They were.
Nope, nobody could afford it.
Oh.
And so they weren't buying any. And then the oil company was like, fuck. And just started giving it away, basically.
The price of oil was in the negatives.
Like the
I don't know what exactly that means. I just know that it was in the negatives.
It means we've got to return the 2019 lifted fucking trucks. And we got to get a real job.
No, because
Okay, sorry. That's bad.
because-
That's bad. That's bad.
It's
but,
true, though, dude.
But welcome
but
back to
gas is,
fucking
like,
planet.
super cheap.
Welcome
So
back
what?
to. Welcome back to planet fucking Earth. You played the game and you lost the second time. I'm sorry, it happens. just fucking Christ, don't try it for a third time.
With
What?
gas
Dude,
prices being that low, you would want to buy that 2019 lifted truck.
no, he was
Mm.
saying because the oil field was laying a bunch of people off, right?
Yeah, dude, they did.
So they couldn't afford the payments on the truck. That was the joke, Zach.
This is the second time that they've done this. Like, it's like a fucking rinse and repeat, and it fucking sucks. Obviously, people are losing their jobs and their livelihood and stuff like this, but it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Dude, you remember that thing that happened to me on Facebook because I laughed at a joke about
Oil field, yeah.
the oil field, and somebody just went off on me. I was like, dude, it's not my fault they chose that job. Dude, so I posted a meme on Facebook, and it said something about pipeliners and people working in the oil field worrying about not being able to pay their bills or something like that, or getting laid off. And at the bottom, it was a picture of Joker that said, me or normal people finally being able to afford gas for the first time. And it was like the Joker laughing.
Oh yeah.
And some dude got real mad at me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had posted like 3 days before an oil field joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you getting mad at me? It's not my fault you chose that job.
Because you're brown.
Isn't that the same thing they say about becoming a waiter too?
Yeah, that's what. Well, when people say like you should know to tip when you go out to eat, I don't agree with those statements because you chose to be a waiter. Like you chose the job, and you know that tipping isn't mandatory, and you know that some people aren't going to tip. So when you start complaining on social media about not getting tips, or pretty much like ordering people to make sure they tip every time they go out, like you chose the job, and you know that your company is only paying you $2 an hour, and you know that tipping isn't mandatory, so you signed on the dotted line agreeing to all those terms, and then want to complain about not getting tips.
I think that they should just increase the price of the food and pay their fucking waiters and employees a livable wage.
Though, dude, they don't even have to change the price of the food.
Yeah,
they're already making so much profit on those single dishes. They can afford to pay them $15 to $10 an hour, something like that, and just completely get rid of tips, but they don't.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line that matters, not the employees. And that's in every corporate
these corporate index, those guys are getting paid, like the higher up the ladder you go, the more they get, and it's crazy the amount of money they make.
So they can afford to do it, just like HEB is literally raising their pay to $15 an hour because they realized they can during the quarantine for the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
They had made it 15 for the workers, and now they're like, yeah, we're just gonna make it 15 all the time.
For who?
For HEB.
Oh yeah.
And I think, what do you guys think a decent like minimum wage is? Because we all know $7.50 is not.
It depends on where you live. I mean, here in Texas, a decent minimum wage, I'd say like 10.
But can you afford an apartment at 10?
So
it
you
depends.
want a minimum wage to support
like a living wage, right? Like a livable wage.
So he wants you to be able to be independent with a livable wage, like be able to afford your own bills, afford your own place, and stuff like that. Which I think
with the minimum wage job.
There are some efficiency apartments that are run here, like
yeah,
if you're making like what is that? So it's like $10 an hour, 40 hours a week with taxes, it's like $320, $330, something like that.
Yeah.
So $700 every 2 weeks. That covers rent, and then 2 weeks later you get $700 for, a bunch of other bills. It's kind of hard. It's hard. $1,000 a month's really bad.
But I mean, the fact that it's a minimum wage job also, like, keep in mind that, like, a minimum wage job isn't exactly the most tedious thing to do.
I mean, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Because a lot of construction workers make less than $10 an hour, and that's not just the Hispanic ones who will work for anything just to be able to support their family and send it back to Mexico or wherever they came from in South America. They the highest they get paid is like $12 an hour.
But then
So they're busting their ass.
do a different job then.
Some people can't find different jobs though.
My biggest issue is a lot of the bigger corporations and even construction and some other places, they'll subsidize their employees to the government. So if they don't make enough, they require assistance and stuff like that. Then us taxpayers foot the bill, and it's kind of stupid at the same time because these companies are still like doing record profits, like Walmart.
Right.
Amazon was a big one who basically took the first leap with pressure from the left to increase wages, but Walmart's a perfect example. Like, most of their employees are basically on government assistance. Most of their employees require Medicaid, Medicare, and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Their warehouse workers get paid good though.
I mean, yeah. But I think they're the outlier. The majority of the employees aren't making.
Yeah, the sales associates and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me for it to be that low. I don't know how much I want it to be, but I don't know. Like, people try to say minimum wage jobs are like high school jobs, and then complain about college students.
Well, I mean, it would be weird to be able. I mean, I agree that minimum wage should be a supporting should be you should be able to support yourself a minimum wage, but also it's like weird that you can work one job that gets paid minimum wage and like sweat your ass out and bust your ass, but then it's weird that you can work a different job that's super easy, super simple, and get paid the same amount of money.
That's why you don't find a lot of employment with the jobs that are harder, though. Unless you're just unwilling to look. This is literally just supply. I mean, this is capitalism 101. If you're doing hard work and you think that you deserve more and you're getting paid minimum wage, and some guys getting paid minimum wage doing easy shit, then request the change in wage. Request a raise. And if you don't get it, fuck it, switch jobs, go do the easy shit.
All right, let's move on.
You wanna ask this one, James?
Yeah. What is the most important thing that a girl should understand about a guy, and it seems to you that they do not understand?
We're just trying to fuck.
So you're
like, I'm just kidding. But like, I'm a strong believer of men and women can't be just friends ever. Like, I mean, no, let me explain a little bit. So, yeah, you can have friends that are the other sex, obviously, but there's always going to be that thing in the back of both of their minds about sex every time, and that's always going to be there.
But why would that? I mean, why would you let that impact your relationship as friends?
Yeah.
If you're friends with somebody and y'all understand y'all's boundaries with each other, then why would that matter?
I mean,
unless you fall victim to your own impulses, and you have no impulse control, then why would that matter?
So just set boundaries. Just set boundaries and follow, and be like establish boundaries. I think that's the biggest thing. Is that a lot of people, they just go by assumption and they don't fucking like say what they're actually wanting.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought that, though, that they can't be friends. I mean, obviously, like, if they're both in a relationship, it's a little different.
So you like two single people of the opposite sex could not be just friends?
I don't think so, no. Not at all.
You are sadly mistaken.
I've always thought that.
So why would, like, even if y'all did, like, even if one had feelings for the other, then why would you, like, still, so you would say you wouldn't be friends with that person?
I think it would be harder for them to just be friends. Because if one falls in love with the other, it's going to make things more difficult, regardless.
Yeah, but you're not talking about falling in love. You're talking about lust.
I mean, not always. Because don't you love some of your friends, Zach?
Yeah, I love all my friends.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, Zach, you want to fuck me?
Yeah.
Hey, we can't be friends anymore, Zach.
Eventually, it's gonna get to the stage where it's not just friends. Every time.
every time. You think
Every time.
every time, dude.
I do.
I think that's a fucked perspective, buddy.
Yeah, you do. You got a skewed perspective there. You can't be friends with someone of the opposite sex. You can't put away your lustful feelings for somebody.
Me
Ever.
personally, I can, but that doesn't mean that everybody else can.
Wait,
You
so
just said that nobody can.
so you don't
I
believe?
said a lot of people can't.
So you don't even believe your own fucking thing.
I just don't hang out with just girls, you know?
No.
You said nobody. You said nobody could be friends with people of the opposite sex if they're both single.
I don't think so, no. Not at all.
But then you just said that you
I
said
said
no.
there's always going to be that underlying thoughts in one of the people's heads.
Possibly.
I mean, yeah, but it would just be an underlying thought.
Yeah, but I think it would come to the surface.
And if it does, and y'all get rejected, then you move on. And I mean, you're saying that y'all can't still stay friends?
I don't think so, no. Like I said, it would just make
Oh
it would,
my
it would
god,
cause,
dude, you are irritating me right now.
it would cause a completely different dynamic.
I mean,
Dude, you are irritating.
I think the dynamics change, but it doesn't mean like it's like, hey, it's all over now because
Yeah, like you ruined your entire relationship with somebody because you have lustful feelings towards them.
Not even just lustful feelings. Like I said, eventually it would come to where somebody catches feelings for the other person, and it will change the whole dynamic.
Like that all the time? You think that just because someone has lustful feelings that it's gonna turn into something more than that?
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time, no. But more often than not, yes.
well, then you don't really believe that all. You just believe that.
I
I'd
think
say, what is
yeah,
your
I would say
put a
in my
percentage behind
opinion,
it?
like a majority. I'd say somewhere between 75 and 85 probably percent.
I think if you don't have impulse control, but
Yeah.
I think most people recognizes the boundaries and can still stay friends with somebody. I mean, maybe not like the best of friends, but you could still be friends with somebody. Even if
See,
you,
I don't like I would consider maybe acquaintances, right? Like you talk to each other every now and then, but friends are people like I said you love most of the time. You're not going to have
See, I don't get these labels that we use like acquaintances. I mean,
yeah, like what's an acquaintance? Just a friend that's less of
yeah.
a.
it would be like a distant cousin, right? They're still your cousin,
But you don't
but
want to fuck them
no, you're not as
Big weird stuff.
unless you're from
You're not
Alabama.
you're not as close to your third cousin as you are your first cousin most of the time. And that's how it is in my life. I don't know half my third cousins. I know they're there, but I never talk to them.
I don't, dude. The fact that you say that you can't be friends with someone of the opposite sex just blows my mind.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense, but you know what? That's you.
That's you. That's your opinion.
All
That's
right.
your wrong
All right.
opinion.
All right,
That's your dumb opinion.
Zach.
That's your stupid, dumb, idiotic opinion.
What is
But I respect it.
what is your?
Hey, buddy. You want to do that, dude? Weren't you friends with a girl and then caught feelings and you'll stop talking?
Oh fuck!
You want to play that card, dude? No, no, you don't, dude. You told me the other day that you don't.
I still text that person.
You're a liar, dude.
But has the dynamic
Next
changed?
time we hang out, you need to see that.
Wait,
dude.
wait. Has the
I need to see it.
has the has the dynamic
case,
changed?
like one person. No, not really.
So you guys like still talking on like the same regular basis?
Yeah,
Not on a regular basis.
We were talking a lot more, but just because, like, we were still talking after that, after the fact, is we've only drifted apart because we don't exactly work together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it just changes the dynamic, and you're gonna the friendship's gonna become more and more distant.
Nothing to do with that, though.
All right, Zach. What is the most important thing that girls should understand about a guy? It seems they don't understand about for you.
I think that Um, I think that women should recognize that it's completely normal for a guy to scratch his balls and sniff his fingers right afterwards. That it's a guy thing to do.
Yeah, you're just testing the war zone to make sure it's clean.
Hmm.
Don't need a
No matter
shower.
how sweaty or how hot it is outside, it's a normal guy thing to do. And that's what I think.
Oh yeah, I think that too. I think that girls also need to realize that there's things between our fucking legs, so we can't like sit fucking, you know, certain ways on, you know, crowded places. Like obviously you're an asshole if you like you're mansplaining. I think that's the weirdest thing that girls get upset about is the mansplaining thing. Like I get it, like guys like spreading his
What is
legs
that?
out.
So basically, it's men explaining something
Oh no, not
to a
mansplaining.
female that they don't know that they.
Are you saying man spreading or mansplaining?
Man spreading. Sorry, not mansplaining.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
So whatever.
Yeah, that.
I mean, obviously you're an asshole if you're taking up multiple spots, but like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
One time at the movie theater, I was sitting next to this guy that his legs were like wide open, like halfway into my area, right? And so I was like, he was asserting some kind of, like, I don't know this guy, and he was, I guess, asserting some kind of weird dominance. And so I'm like sitting over here, and then I got tired of it, so I was like, you know what? So I spread my legs, knocking his knee back over to his side. I'm like, no, that's not happening. And then I got all the room back. But it was like some kind of, like, it did feel like some kind of weird like power dynamic thing that he was trying to assert something. So I had to take my throne back.
He's got the big balls, and you've got
dude,
bigger.
you know what that reminds me of, Zach? Do you remember that time we were at the bar and we were talking to somebody? I think it was one of our friends or something. We were sitting at the table with them, and the dude just walks up like chest puffed out and everything. Do you remember that? Like because we were sitting at a table with a few dudes and a few.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it just like that's the weirdest thing to me. Why do people? Why do people
my
make?
name's John.
Yeah, like kept it dead straight and like tried to shake the hand.
Exactly.
That's one thing that's always confused me is why people think this makes him look more tough.
He changed his entire like demeanor. And
Actually, this does make me look more tough, right, guys?
He's flexing his muscles so hard that if he lets go of it too quickly, he'll shit himself. So
I might pass out, dude.
That's why he's all. That's why he's all stiff. He doesn't want to shit himself when he lets go.
And then you walk up to females and they fall in love with you, dude, just because of this. And you're good to go.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my god, so dreamy.
Thanks, dude. Don't ever say that to me again, though.
Oh my god, he's so dreamy.
Dude, definitely don't say it like that because it's gonna get me hard.
So dreamy.
Fucking hate you, dude. You should do ASMR, Zach. Do some ASMR, dude.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dude, you know some ASMR people have like a little set of
It's
ear.
shaped like an ear, yeah.
That's the weirdest shit to me. They'll just be. I can't wait. And then they do it with food too. That's the weirdest shit to me. Nobody wants to hear crackling paper right in their ear.
This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back. And it's weighing down heavy on me, and it's not okay.
I was like, oh, you know what? That's funny. So I get it now. Thanks, James. Thanks for the
No problem. That's what I do.
The demonstration, dude. I really appreciate it.
Good perspective on paper crumpling, and now you're fixed.
Boom. You've been
Hell
cured.
yeah.
That'll be 5 installments of $99.99.
5 easy payments of $34.67.
Cash or credit. All right,
Dude.
In an apocalypse, would you rather tough it out alone or try to find a community to live in?
Y'all already know my answer to this one.
I mean,
Die.
I'm just dying.
what if like okay, Trevor? What if you could find a community, and you could normalize your life a little bit?
Okay, so like when the apocalypse hits, right?
Yep.
You're losing power. You're losing everything.
Not
You're losing
necessarily.
absolutely everything.
Not necessarily.
You
What
think
if you
the
have
lights
solar
are going to
power?
stay on through
You really don't know what solar power is.
an apocalypse?
You don't think solar power exists?
No, I know it exists,
It's not a myth.
but I don't think it would be.
You don't think it would still work? I mean,
Oh,
if
I
I
don't
know
think
it
it
is.
would work as well.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
And there's ash in the sky and it blocks the sun out. Let's assume that in this scenario.
I know what
Because
it is.
that's exactly what would happen if Yellowstone explodes, right? Or
Yeah.
when it explodes.
So I know.
No matter what, it's going to kill people and turn it into an ice age.
So I know what it is. In a community, there are boys and girls, and
Oh yeah.
80% of them can't work together or be friends. So it's just gonna
That's
be
true,
one big
yeah.
orgy. So Trevor doesn't want to be a part of that
That's
orgy.
true. If you were in a community and there were women, then you can't work with them. You can't be friends with them.
Nope.
You can work
Fuck
with
with
them.
that.
You can't be friends with them. Dude, I wouldn't be friends with anyone because I'd already be dead as soon as the apocalypse happened.
So, okay, so if something bad happens, and I guess immediately assume that you're dead, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
No, you fucking one pussy.
No, but I think I'd probably try to tough it alone.
No, you would. No, you wouldn't.
I mean, I really no, like I'm saying, like I really do think I would, because being like in a tight knit community, tensions get high sometimes, and you're already stressing out because of the apocalypse. I don't want to live with more stress having to worry about other people.
I think not having attachments would be a beautiful thing during the apocalypse. Because if you get too attached and you have like attached people around you, and something happens, like, because the world would be crazy. Like if we're talking like the Walking Dead type world where everyone is like out doing their own thing and stealing and robbing and killing other people in communities, getting attached to people could be bad news. So doing your own thing, not having your own attachments, and being able to go and do whatever you want might be a beautiful thing.
I feel like it's short-term gain, long-term negative, because you kind of lose yourself a little bit, right? After a while, of not having social like having these attachments. Like, what's the point at that point? You kind of lose your humanity a little bit. And it's good for the very beginning because you haven't like established yourself and it's dangerous and stuff, etc., etc., etc. But once you like get long run, I feel like be a lot better. Ultimately the goal is to normalize your way of life in some certain way. You don't want to be fucking like,
Yeah.
you don't. Otherwise, then I agree with Trevor. There's no really point in trying. Obviously, you're not going to get back to like the original state, but like try your hardest to get as close as possible.
I think after a while, I think it would be like almost like relationships. Like when you're young, you want to explore around all these different relationships in the same way you want to explore around all these different communities. And then one day you want to settle down and actually find a community and have a normal community life. But at the beginning, you might just want to stray around, do your own thing, and then one day you decide to settle down into a community and live out the rest of the apocalypse in a community.
Mm. What would be your weapon of choice if it was like a zombie apocalypse?
Not fucking J.J. Watt, you idiot.
Shut the fuck up. That wasn't
It'd be a cyborg zombie, dude.
No, not a fucking... No, your weapon of choice. Like, what personal weapon?
A gun so I could just shoot myself and end it all.
You're
All
fucking...
right,
You're,
then I don't have to become a zombie either, and I'm just done.
You're dark. You're dark as hell.
Wait a second. Can zombies like reanimate a corpse after they bite it, or is that person just completely dead?
In The Walking Dead, I think there's like a virus inside of everybody, and once they die, then the virus activates and you become a zombie regardless.
So do you think you would just become a zombie when you died then?
I mean, if
like
it's
without
like that,
being bitten, like you would just become a zombie?
yeah, if it's like that, then because I don't know if it's The Walking Dead or some other one, but it's like the virus exists inside of everybody already. but it doesn't activate until you die. So even if you died like without getting bitten or anything, then you'd still turn into a zombie.
I think though I would probably choose like a flamethrower or something like that, dude. Can you burn zombies to death though?
No, they just turn into
fuck.
burning.
Yeah,
They just turn into
it's
fucking
It's even more scary, dude.
fire.
Fuck, I don't
Everything
want that.
changed when the fire zombies attacked.
I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Like, whenever you
I
say
think I would
weapon,
go
can
with-
it be like a truck?
I think I would go with a crossbow. Oh yeah, a truck would be good.
Like,
Like a
Crossbow
monster.
again.
yeah, that would be a good weapon, right? Just because you know how, like, in movies they have the little thing, like snowplow type thing built on the front of it to just kind of run through them. That's probably what I would use.
I'd want
The
to.
only thing wrong with crossbows though is that it takes a while to reload. Like it's not easy to reload, and your aim has to be really good too, because you have to hit them in the head. I think.
But what if you get like I like the crossbow idea, but like with explosive rounds, right? Like explosive arrows. So you shoot it at them, and then they just blow up to pieces. Would
No.
that not kill it?
Too much sound, dude. Because then that just attracts more zombies.
Well, yeah, but if you have a crossbow, you're high up somewhere, right? Like, so
We'll just have a
let's
sniper.
say you and your community, you make a community in an abandoned mall, right? So you have it all blocked off. You go up onto the roof to kill zombies, you know? So it wouldn't matter about the noise because it would just help you kill more zombies.
The goal
Well,
isn't
you
to.
can still get overrun.
Yeah, the goal isn't to kill as much zombies as possible. It's to live. You can't really fucking live if you have like a whole horde at your fucking front door.
Why do you
Yeah,
want
but
to kill more zombies?
You're not living if you're not killing zombies, dude.
What the fuck is
But you don't
wrong?
want to live in the first place.
Yeah, you're already dead.
Yeah, I died at the beginning of this episode. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
My arc's over.
I think I would go with an axe or a gun that doubles as an axe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a gun with a hatchet under.
Yeah.
That'd be dope as fuck, dude. Like the sawed-off shotgun, just with a little hatchet at the bottom of it.
You would want something that has a silencer on it.
I think I would want a big ass fucking claymore, like a giant fucking Scottish claymore. Wield that shit, just twirl
But
around
weren't
with
you
it.
just saying? Weren't you just saying that explosive rounds from a crossbow would be too loud?
No, not a fucking explosive, like an actual sword, like a giant fucking claymore, two-handed broadsword, like a giant.
Dude, a claymore's the thing that blows people up.
Are you?
Yeah, I thought more was that.
No, there's.
I mean, I guess it's
Yeah, it's the sword, the giant two-hand sword.
a claymore is also the explosive that you put underneath the ground.
Not even necessarily underneath the ground.
No,
Yeah, it's like that box looking thing.
no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a Scottish claymore broadsword. It's like a fucking giant sword. Cuts people in half.
You don't think it'd be too heavy though, to carry that around with you all the time?
I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm strap it to your back, like a backpack.
You know, you bring up a good point about too much noise, James. But also, how would you alert your community that there's a zombie without making too much noise?
And go, hey, there's a zombie.
Walkie-talkies, megaphones, yelling, talking.
Yeah.
With
Pigeon.
megaphone, that would be a lot of noise, right?
I mean, not more noise than a fucking explosion.
But people would still have walkie-talkies. It's like
Yeah.
batteries would still exist.
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, but then you can't charge it again because your batteries die.
AA batteries, you just get more and stock up on them.
Y'all are making this too easy, dude.
I don't know what you want. Like,
Be a man, dude.
no.
You
Go out like
be
a man. Go out like a
Make
man,
it-
like in Dead Rising, dude. Just go out like a man.
So
Fight
Trevor.
all the zombies in the mall.
So Trevor
that
wouldn't.
would be
Trevor wouldn't be in our community then.
no. Trevor would be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd kill all of y'all, dude. Every last
No,
one of
you
you in the
wouldn't.
community.
Be dead. You would
Okay.
die.
Okay.
And then I would become a zombie and kill you, dude. Then we would all be best friend zombies.
No, he wouldn't. I'd hate you. I'd fucking kill you even more.
Would you hate me for turning you into zombies?
Hell yeah, I'd hate you for turning me into a fucking zombie.
We can't be best friend zombies because we'd have feelings for each other.
Yes.
It just doesn't work out like that.
Zambies versus Zambies.
Dude,
You
you're right,
can't
dude.
date.
Dude, I can't believe Plants vs Zombies was ever a game.
That's a good game.
It's a good game.
Dude, there's just so much weird shit, dude. Like Candy Crush is super popular, and those games like that are just like blowing up, dude. They have been for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Candy
but
Crush was a genius marketing idea.
I like
Oh, it
those
really
games.
was. I've never personally played
Like
Candy Crush.
the amount of money they make is like insane. Just because like the whole marketing team behind that game is like remarkable. I love the idea of that.
And they get so many celebrities to endorse it too. That really helps out a lot to continue getting more and more people playing the game.
I truly think that you can make an app out of anything. If you know how to market it, then you could sell it. Like you could have an app that's literally just a piece of poop on your screen, and if you know how to market it, then you can make a lot of money from it.
Yeah, Mr. Beast did a video before he like blew up. He bought the most expensive apps on the App Store. And there was one that said that was $150, and it just said I spent a lot of money on this app when he opened it.
Most of the most expensive apps are like that. There used to be one back before they limited the prices. There used to be one that was like $1,000 on the old Android store,
And it's
and
literally just to flex.
it was like a diamond that showed up on the screen, and it did nothing, and it was just called the I Am Rich app.
Like, so literally it's just flexing on people.
Mhm.
When they get your phone and they're like, oh shit, this guy's got money. And then they rob you because you're a fucking idiot.
No, he's rich. Okay, so
Well,
what
why
is
would they look at your app then?
What?
Go ahead.
What'd you say, Zach?
I said, why if somebody's stealing your phone, why would they even look at your apps anyways? Like, who goes
I'm
to
not
other
saying
people's apps?
I'm not saying stealing your phone. I'm saying like you hand somebody your phone and they just see the Diamond app and then they click on it and they're like, oh, what the fuck? Or even just showing people the app like on your own phone. You just, oh, I bought this app and it's fucking $4,000. And you just show them the app. It's literally just a flex on people.
I think most people would just be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, dude. What the fuck? Might be good at the bar though, dude. Pretty good pickup line at the bar.
I think it makes you sound like a douchebag if you use that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
dude.
if you're serious.
But if you got money, you got money, and it doesn't matter if you're ugly.
Well, are you saying that women? Are you saying that women are you're objectifying women because you think they need money, they don't need love? Is that what you're saying, Trevor?
I don't think
Well,
they
you
need
can't be-
money,
be
but they
friends with them.
also become more attracted to men with money.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them do. Yep.
Might as well. I mean, it's not like y'all can be friends ever.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm not gonna give somebody a lot of money just because they're my friend.
All right. What is your silliest fears? Final question. Let's get out of this fucking hellhole.
Silliest fear. I don't know if it's silly, but you know that feeling when you're out in the middle of the ocean and you look down and you can't see the bottom?
Oh yeah, that's scary as fuck.
That's super scary to me.
That's terrifying though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's silly,
like,
dude.
completely terrifying.
That's
I
not
don't
silly.
I don't know what silly, like a silly fear. I don't know what that means.
All right, I'll go. I have one. I have a
Like something.
Oh no. Okay, I got one. So one time I was at like a barbecue or something, and there was a way that the sausages were cut, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. It was like they were cut. They had like these diamond cuts in the middle of it, and
You
it's
could
like when
see the holes in it.
like
That's
and when you bend when you bend it, they pop out, and it was just the most uncomfortable feeling, and I didn't like it.
dude. There's a lot of people that actually have that kind of fear. It's called trypophobia. It's like the fear of little holes
Yeah,
in
that's the fear
irregular
of little
patterns.
holes, but it wasn't like it was like an irregular pattern. It was made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that though. Makes me uncomfortable when somebody bites a Kit Kat right in the middle.
I have a fear that that a sinkhole is going to open up and swallow me up when I'm just chilling one day. and then I'll never be heard from again. Which has actually happened. But it's really, 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 really rare. Like, it's fucking insanely rare. But yeah.
That a sinkhole just opened up?
Yeah, it happens up. It just structures that weren't meant to be built on certain things, and bam, sinkhole, and
That's gotta be a scary way to go.
Yeah, you slide in, you never heard from again. It's happened a couple of times, where it's like gobbled up
Where do you go?
entire houses are just gone. You're just like, what the fuck? And there's just a giant black hole.
There was this video of a sinkhole happened. I forget where it was, but it was this huge sinkhole, and it went underneath the road. But cave divers went down into the sinkhole, and there was like all this crazy stuff down there, and there was like this old car, like this old abandoned car down there, and it was just like this crazy stuff down there.
It's fucking insane. All right,
I think for me, probably ducks or like chickens. They fucking terrify the shit out of me, dude. Because my grandma used to have a pet chicken or a pet rooster and just fucking chase after us every day.
That and geese.
What are they?
They're such adorable animals, and then they just fucking.
Are they territorial or something? Or?
I mean, no and yes at the same time. They don't mark their territory or anything, but that particular rooster did not want people near it at all.
Yeah.
Like
I know geese will chase the living shit. Like they'll. Like, I don't even know why. I don't know it, because like there could be like no eggs or no babies or whatever. Like, they'll just chase you.
Geese don't give a fuck, dude. They're alphas.
They really don't. They are alphas. Like, they're the epitome of alphas.
They're the type of motherfuckers that'll put their leg on your side of the movie theater.
Yeah.
Dude, they just run around honking too. That's all. That's the noise they make. They're just honking at you.
Do a geese
and you're
noise
running
for us.
from them.
Dude, don't be racist.
Do a geese noise for us.
Honk honk.
The fuck's wrong?
Honk 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 honk.
Never have I ever heard a geese honking.
Dude, that's what geese sound like, dude. Have you ever played the Untitled Goose Game, dude?
No.
It's exactly what that goose sounds like.
Dude, some geese will go.
That I believe.
Honk honk. That's what they do, dude. It's a fear thing. It's so they scare the shit out of you because they're chasing behind you, but you think it's a car the whole time.
What about clowns? Clowns are a good one.
I'm not really scared. I don't get the fear of clowns.
Dude, I'm absolutely 100% petrified of clowns. Like, and it's weird because I love It and Killer Clowns from Outer Space and all that kind of stuff. But whenever I was younger, my aunt made me watch the original It miniseries. And ever since then, I've just been terrified. Like, of real life clowns. Like, whenever when those clown sightings, like the clowns that were just kind of standing around, scaring the fuck out of people.
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't want to leave the house, dude.
No.
Like, I told my job, I said, hey, I need to work the mornings for now. And they were like, why? I was like, because I'm fucking terrified of clowns. And if I'm driving home and see a clown, I don't know what the fuck will happen.
There's that documentary there's that documentary of that guy that would that you would pay him to dress up as a clown and scare people.
Yeah, like, that's Wrinkles, right? Isn't his name Wrinkles the Clown?
I think so. Yeah, that was the name of it. Wrinkles the Clown.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I've just always been terrified. And I went to after I'd watched that movie, I went to a circus because I didn't know it had clowns, you know? And
you not know a circus doesn't have clowns?
Dude, I was 7.
Oh.
Maybe 7.
I
went to one, dude. We had to leave the circus.
Imagine you walking in, just like noticing it, and like, oh fuck, oh dude, fuck.
I went with a friend and his family, and we literally had to leave.
Oh,
because I wouldn't stop crying because of the clowns.
You fucked up their circus day.
Dude, fuck them, dude, and fuck clowns. Stupid bitches.
Wasn't there a serial killer that was a clown as well?
All serial killers are clowns, dude.
Yeah, I mean, all clowns are all clowns are serial killers.
All serial killers are all vice versa.
Yeah. No, but there was one though. What was his name?
Yeah, he raped kids. His name was John Wayne Gacy. He raped kids, dude.
He raped kids?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? That's actually how Stephen King got the idea for It. Like that's literally what It is based on.
Was it
John Wayne Gacy?
Was it girl kids or boy kids or both?
It was like teenage boys.
So John Way straight C wouldn't work, huh?
I'm pulling it up.
Hey, James, can you cut that audio?
No, I can't.
Here all night.
Oh, he looks weird.
Please edit that out.
He looks really weird.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. And it was actually like everybody loved him, dude. Like his neighbors, they loved this dude to death. Never thought he was a weird fuck. And they were shocked when he got arrested because the cops just came to his house and took him to jail. And nobody knew. Like his neighbors didn't even fucking know. And that's the scariest fucking thing to me.
That your neighbor could be a killer clown with bodies buried underneath their house.
Not necessarily just clowns, but like somebody who lives across the street from you could be a mass murderer, like a serial killer. And you have no idea until they get arrested.
Yeah, it could be someone you live with.
Huh?
What?
What'd you say?
I don't know. What did you say?
Dude, I said like if people across the street were serial killers, you wouldn't even know until they got arrested.
Yeah.
They're sillier killers.
They're silly killers.
Cereal? Like killing the cereal?
Silly killers. Kids are for kids.
So he actually killed 33 people. Mostly teenage boys.
He buried every one of them underneath his house.
Yeah, the bodies of most of the victims were unearthed in the crawl space under Gacy's middle-class home.
Go ahead.
Evidence showed that a defendant led a double life, engaging in charitable and political activities at the same time he was committing a series of sadistic tortured murders. He enticed young men in the home for homosexual liaison and tried handcuffing his partners and then strangling or choking them. What the fuck? So he wasn't like a full-time clown, was he?
He did have clown. He did do clown shows, like for birthdays and stuff. He did that, up. And that's why they call him the Killer Clown. But yeah, there's actually a song about John Wayne Gacy, and that's how I learned about him for the first time. It's by Sufjan Stevens, called John Wayne Gacy Jr.
Jesus fucking Christ. Second search, so they didn't find anything wrong with the first search warrant that they did, but
because they didn't look under the house.
Yeah, the second search warrant was executed, and 3 lime-covered bodies were found in the crawl space. What the fuck? How do you sleep at night knowing that your crawl space has dead bodies just sitting there?
How do you sleep at night knowing you wasted perfectly good limes on dead bodies?
Yeah.
Like, limes go in beers, dude. Why would you put limes on a dead body?
Because it's just for the fermenting process. Because you ferment beers.
Oh yeah, so you can pickle them, right? So you can pickle them.
You ferment beers, so you put limes in beers. So you just go ahead and put the lime on the dead bodies in order to jumpstart the process, and that way your beers would be fermented with limes from dead bodies.
Dude, hell yeah.
Dude,
I feel like you've been thinking about that for way too long.
And that's scientifically accurate.
This is so fucking insane. Like, I don't understand. Like, this guy should have been caught. Like, if any other detective, like, okay, his first 3 or 4 murders screamed it was him. Like, I don't get it. So in July of 1975, one of Gacy's employees, John Butkovich, disappeared. And Butkovich had apparently an argument with Gacy. And his parents basically urged police to, like, seek out Gacy, check him out. And then
whose parents? The dead guy's parents, or
the dead guy's parents? The dead guy's parents.
They had like an intimate relationship too.
But here's where it gets even crazier. So even if it's intimate, it's even more reason to check him out, because it's mostly the spouse that commits most of the murders. But okay, so in the following year, another of his employees disappeared, and his parents asked police to investigate Gacy again. Like, that's 2 employees in 2 years gone missing. Both parents saying, hey, check out Gacy. It gets even fucking crazier. The next year. The next year.
He was very charismatic, like most serial killers, dude.
The next year, literally an acquaintance of all 3 of the people. So 2 of the people that died and Gacy also disappeared. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, why wasn't this guy found out? He literally is the common denominating factor of all these disappearances is that he was involved with all these people. I don't understand why they didn't find him.
Yeah, but they just didn't care at that time.
Yeah. DNA evidence was a lot harder to come across at that time, too. Like, they obviously got him put in jail because they found out it was actually him, but it was probably a lot harder to determine who it was, especially in a time when serial killers were like hot. You know, they were like trending all the time.
You didn't think it could get worse, but it actually does. It actually gets so much worse. Not all Gacy's victims died. A year after he did those initial 3 killings, Gacy lured Jeffrey Rignall into his car. He chloroformed him, took him back to his house in Summerdale, raped and tortured him, and dumped him in Lincoln Park. Police drew a blank, but Rignall remembered, though the chloroform Haze of the Night and Black Oldsmobile, blah, 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 blah. He staked out and basically turned him in. Police issued a warrant and arrest for Gacy on July 15th. He was facing trial on battery, charged for Rignall incident, and when he was arrested in December for the other murders in December 1977. How does it say? Okay, it says they arrested him for the murders in 77, 76, 75 before the other 30 people. Why did he take? It says yet again Chicago police took no action. What?
Well, they couldn't exactly put it right on him, so they just took they took that charge in order to be able to charge him. So basically, the judge gave him a life sentence for rape and
for just that one proven incident.
Yeah, that's the only reason that that's why he got arrested is because of that. They never would have arrested him if that didn't happen.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't have enough evidence to support the fact that he actually did do something to those 30 people or whatever.
Like, the only thing that pointed to it being him is that he knew the people who died. Or the people he killed. He knew them.
That's crazy.
And that was literally the only thing they were going on.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy.
He almost got away with it. If it wasn't for them
all the meddling detectives. All the meddling detectives and all them wanting to look in my crawl space.
Dude, yeah, he's a fucking psychopath, dude.
Don't go into my crawl space.
His final meal was a dozen deep fried shrimp, a bucket of original recipe chicken from KFC,
yep,
and a pound of fresh strawberries and french fries, and his final words were, "Kiss my ass."
Yeah, dude. So, speaking of last meals, dude, can you choose anything, right? Like, you can choose anything as a last meal.
No, it used to be that way, but now there's limits on it because people were going absurd with their last meals.
I think Texas got rid of that. I don't think you can do a last meal in Texas anymore. I think you just eat with the whatever's on chow.
I mean, I know that there were, but people were taking advantage of it and getting sometimes they would get huge meals and not touch any of it just to waste it, like as a final FU to the system.
Dude, imagine that guard. It'd be like, hell yeah. That's lunch, baby.
Yeah, just eat the food.
You don't want any of this? All right.
I'm gonna take your ass out. I'm gonna go eat this shit. That's lunch, baby. For a week.
Yeah, dude, he got so much fucking food though. Like, that blew my mind when I found that out. Like, why the fuck are you doing that, dude? And then there was another serial killer, dude. He literally requested, I think it was like 3 olives with the pits taken out, and that was it. No drink, just 3 olives.
All right, then.
Yeah, dude. I love finding out about, like, people's last meals because some of them are just so fucking insane.
You know what? You know what's really scary is there is a whole website dedicated to plane transcripts that for planes that have gone down.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like, it has all the audio recordings and written transcripts and things like that. Like, that's creepy. Like, things like that are scary to me. or like 911 phone calls.
What's crazy to me is like their fucking training, how it takes over. Like they're really calm, even to the very end. Like a lot of them, like there obviously there's some that are like crazy yelling and stuff, but a lot of those black box recordings, they're just
where it's
fucking...
like where they know they're going down and they're still staying calm about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, there would be no reason to freak out about it, though. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to freak out because it's already over.
Yeah, but it's not about making sense. It's about going against human instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing that you're gonna die and still not being too worried about it.
Right. I don't know if they're not worried about it. It's just that they're showing so much composure that it's...
They have to portray being calm, so that way other people don't freak.
Mm-mm.
And it helps them think. You can think better when you're calm and not panicking.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Dude, if I ever went to jail, I would write you guys letters all the time.
Don't.
Y'all would be my pen pals.
Motherfucker.
I would ask for some nudes to make it through the week. You know.
Are pen pals still a thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think schools actually, like some of them, obviously not all of them, are like they make students get a pen pal so they can learn about a different culture.
It would be funny if like a kid was like, I'm writing my new friend Ahmed, and Ahmed's like, death to the infidels.
And that's what his what he writes back.
Well, get ready because they're probably gonna be back in fucking school in August, so they'll probably start writing.
It would actually be a good idea. I think it would be a good idea for us to write a random person in prison and have a conversation, and then we could present the idea on the pod. We could present it on the podcast.
Dude, what's crazy to me
with the random prison guy.
Like some people, like some serial killers have cult followings. Like they don't support that they killed people, but they find them really attractive and they talk to them in jail all the time.
Yeah.
Like Ted Bundy had multiple girls just come to talk to him in jail.
Yeah, that school shooter did too. Apparently he was getting like nudes and stuff mailed to him.
Which one?
The Nick, whatever his name is, I forget which one he did. I think it was, I want to say it was Sandy. No, not Sandy Hook.
Like, I don't know why people fall in love with serial killers. It doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, they are charismatic as fuck, and that's how they get away with it for so long. But still, like, I don't know if I could love somebody who's...
the Stoneman Douglas High School.
Oh, okay, so a couple years ago?
I'm wondering how they're handling the whole giving test out when they're working remote.
He was the Parkland shooter.
Yeah, okay.
Nicholas Cruz.
What were you saying, James?
I'm wondering how they're handling, like, giving, like, STAR tests and stuff like that. Like, you know, the Texas mandated test while working remote.
They canceled STAR.
I thought they canceled.
Probably just something else.
I mean, but still, yeah. What is the? How are they handling the testing? Like the state testing. That's what I'm wondering.
I don't even get why the fuck we have state testing in schools.
I think it's to make sure that
that you're good to go.
The kids are actually learning and they're not like fucking just skating past. Like I remember, I'm calling an old coach out, but I remember fucking I suck so fucking bad at math. But I was a part of the football team, and I had a 98 in math, and I literally was, like, it was bad. Couldn't do even basic algebra, and we were in fucking algebra 2. And I was making a 98. He would just give us the grade.
I think the Texas curriculum is, like, the worst curriculum in the U.S.
Yeah, it's real fucking, like, it's not good at all.
Like, the U.S. schooling in general is... just like a whole laughing stock, but Texas is pretty bad.
Yeah,
they need to be smarter, dude. Need to be way smarter. Stop giving fucking standardized testing and teach kids how to do taxes and shit like that instead. Because I know when I left high school, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
No, like it's kind of like
you need to touch his freaking heart, man.
Economics, yeah.
Wait, what?
I think
was that kid that had that speech in class or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because his teacher didn't want to fucking do anything,
Yeah.
and she was just sitting there. Yeah, that was crazy, dude. Like he's just going off on her, and she just can't say anything because she's like, "Oh fuck, I'm a fucking piece of shit."
Well, I don't know.
What were you
If
saying?
I don't know if she's a piece of shit. She's overworked, underpaid.
Yeah, most are.
Well, yeah, but that goes back to the change profession thing too.
Yeah.
You know, because I also agree that teachers definitely need to be paid more. Because during the school year, you spend time with your teachers more than you do your own parents.
But here's the thing: is like I don't know if this really applies that well when you have teachers and stuff like that because they're not. It's not a corporation. They're funded by taxes. The school is funded by taxes, housing taxes, stuff like that. Teacher salaries, I think they're funded by the taxes as well. So it's kind of like it's a delegation.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a delegation of I think it's a delegation of like where the tax money is going, and when it comes to the schools and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's why there's a lot of teacher unions and stuff like that are they're fighting for higher wages because they can do that. They're not really fighting corporations. They're fighting state and local.
That single school.
Yeah, they're fighting local and federal government. I think.
Did like teachers at better rated schools would get paid more, right? Or no?
Yeah, the teachers the way the schooling works is like if you pay higher property tax, so if like you live in a rich neighborhood or something like that, the housing taxes and stuff like that go towards that district, the school district that you're in, and it's divided. So if you live in a poor neighborhood or a ghetto or anything like that, and you're not paying as much in property tax or stuff like that, that schooling is less funded. They're able to get less teachers, able to like pay their teachers less. So it's a fucking not a good system. Not a good system at all.
You think when they go back to school, they're gonna make them wear masks?
I don't think I don't.
Because how are you gonna social distance in a hallway?
Well, the thing is, you can't force kids to wear masks.
Here's the thing. I don't
Well,
think
they forced us to wear IDs.
I don't think they're gonna open up the schools this year. I honestly don't think anything's gonna be happening this year at all. I think people are saying September, like my company, they were saying September is when we can go back to the office, but that was before literally all the shit blew up again. And I mean,
well, I think there has been news that they plan on opening the schools in August.
I mean, they can say that. I think that they're gonna say this whatever they want, but when it comes down to that time, and it gets closer and closer, and the infection rates are still fucking, they're skying high. They're fucking still crazy because we've done half measures. They're gonna.
See, this article here says breaking news: state orders schools to reopen in August.
Link it.
It's in the
news section.
It's the second one.
Let me pop it up.
I haven't read much of it, so I don't know the validity of it. But if it's true and states are ordering schools to reopen in August, then that's a crazy thing because they're pretty much going against the grain.
Oh, they're saying teachers wouldn't be able to, or students wouldn't be able to spend half their time in school and half their time at home. They would make them go for the whole 8 hours every day.
See, that's scary.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And you could get in a lot of trouble if you don't send your kids to school.
Well, it also says local health officials can override the commissioner's directive to not open the school. So it's not,
okay, so they can make the decision?
Yeah, there's like checks and balances in place, so one fucking piece of shit can't like make the decision.
Well, yeah, but you would probably see majority of schools opening up regardless. Because don't they make more money when kids are in school?
I don't think,
especially through lunches and stuff like that.
So I don't think there's like a system in place to like. I think that I don't think the lunch is part of. I think some schools it is, but I think the lunch is privatized. I think you get it from a company. You buy those lunches from a company. So I don't think the school is going to be affected directly. They're going to have to. It'll cut costs because they're not going to have to pay. I don't know if they make money on the deal.
Lunch money isn't a major source of income. It wouldn't be. I mean, some schools charge a lot for lunches, though. So, I mean, I could be wrong.
There might be a little dip in what the school gets, but I think most of that profit is actually going to the company that provides the school lunches.
would they make them or would they be able to continue sports like football, basketball, baseball, all
I
that
mean,
kind of stuff?
if they're in
Probably not.
school, then why not sport? Like, what's the like? It would be worse to be in a crowded classroom than it would be to
Yeah,
be out in the field.
I don't know. I've
yeah,
been in the locker room. This shit's fucking crowded as fuck.
and it's
Yeah,
not very sanitary either.
I,
yeah.
honestly, I think that it's all talk right now, and I think with everything spiking, I think it's gonna go back. And I honestly think that at least for this year, I think we're pretty much calling it for 2020. Yeah. People were, you understand, when this shit broke out in March, people were saying May. And then they were saying July. And now they're saying September. And now it's breaking out again, like fucking really bad to the point where we're like getting record number of cases in every state.
Yeah, people think it's just gonna die off after the election.
Yeah, I had some guy at work just tell me like the numbers were a lie and that Texas had a dip in numbers 8 days in a row, and I was like, where did you get those statistics from? Because what I've been seeing is that the numbers are at an all-time high, and he said this like last week.
Yeah, dude, because they've been rising in Texas for like the last week and a half. They've been at
He
least
straight up
1,500 new cases
straight
a
up
day.
said he straight up said that the numbers in Texas are actually going down 8 days in a row. And I was like, where did you hear that from? Like, why are you saying that? Like, where did you hear those numbers from? Where did you
But
get that?
see, people like that, um, they, I don't know how to explain it.
I have it right here. I pulled it up. So yeah, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Yeah,
It's jumped up from June. So it was none in March, not a lot in March. Basically, slowly builds up and then it kind of hovers around for about a month and a half. And I think this is like, so you can see like March we kind of started, kind of got a little high. We had these measures in place, boom, 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 and it directly correlates because we started opening up back in May, right? So like late.
June.
Oh, so
June
June
1st.
So June 1st we opened back up, and then you literally see just like June 1st, 3rd, everything looks normal, and then boom, it just starts hitting you. So it's hitting middle June, boom, 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 raises all the way up to the point where it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but people blamed that on the protests, which, I mean, obviously isn't the only reason that there was a spike in cases, because the spikes have been in uh, places that haven't, or some of the protest cities didn't get any worse COVID cases.
I'm sure it played a role.
Yeah, I think it played.
Well, yeah, with
I think
that
it played
many
a role,
people,
but
yeah.
I think it played a role, but at this point, like it's kind of like I think the lifting of restrictions and stuff like that without like real plans put into place, kind of it's like we shot ourselves in the foot. We literally did it halfway, got halfway done with it, and said, okay, fuck it, let's open up early, and then fucking okay, we're getting fucked again. Let's put on a mask again, and it's just created this not good.
Well, that mask order from Abbott was really pointless
Oh yeah,
because they're not going to enforce it anyways.
no.
Because there's a lot of cops who probably don't think it's that bad, you know?
So they weren't even enforcing curfews and stuff like that.
Yeah, I actually got pulled during the curfew thing. I got pulled over for being out past the curfew, and he goes, "Hey, I'm just pulling you over to let you know there's a curfew. So you're not supposed to be out and about." I was like,
Where
"Okay."
were you? Were you downtown leaving work or something?
Yeah, I was coming from work.
Mm,
Or no, I think I wasn't coming from work. I think I told him I was coming from work.
Yeah.
Lock him up. We got him.
We got him. We recorded this whole conversation, Zach. This whole podcast was a ruse to get you arrested. We did it, James. I can't believe it.
We did it.
Lock me out. Take me away.
I would like to thank the Academy for this opportunity because we played Zach so hard.
The police academy?
No, not the police academy, dude. They didn't give me an opportunity.
Take me away, big boy.
I'll come pick you up right now, dude.
Take me away with your strong, muscular arms.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they definitely have to have a lot of guidelines to open school again. At least until we start to like get stagnant on new cases.
I don't think that we're gonna do it this year. That's my prediction.
I don't know. They might, like, especially in Texas, people are gonna some school districts are gonna open up schools again. And that's just given. And at that point, if you don't want your kids to go to school, you would homeschool them. Because, like Zach said, you get in big trouble if your kids just aren't going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the parent gets in trouble, not the kid. And so a lot of people would just probably homeschool. People who don't want their kids to be in crowded schools, hallways, in the cafeteria, in the bathrooms, they wouldn't want their kids to be in that situation, so they would just homeschool them. And that's really the only alternative. But I think if they get some good, like, priorities that the schools have to follow to reopen, I think a lot would reopen in August.
Hopefully the numbers change somehow.
They just need to, like people said, flatten the curve, right? Like, we're never gonna get rid of COVID. Like, it's just not gonna go away, you know?
Yeah.
But until they find like an antidote or something like that to help people, then it's never gonna get better until we have that. And I think that's why a lot of people are scared.
Yeah. I've always said that it's never gonna go away. Like it's here and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now, when they get something that a shot or something that can, like a flu shot, right? Like something that can do something like that, it'll die down, but it'll still be happening, but it won't be as big of a deal because we have stuff to help people get better in it. Even the ones that get it really badly.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is COVID's like a ticking time bomb in a way. Like, they don't say that you die immediately, and I think most of the cases report it's like 4 to 6 weeks after you get it. Is it 4 to, I can't remember, but it's a couple weeks after you get it that you start to have the fatalities. So I feel like we are just now hitting that prime zone.
So you think the deaths are going to go up massively?
I think so. I think from what I've read is, there's going to be probably a greater amount of deaths. I know the cases are really high right now, but the deaths haven't really changed, and I think that's because of the spike in cases. The deaths haven't caught up with it yet, and I feel like there's going to be a giant spike of deaths here shortly, within the next couple weeks.
I could definitely see that happening.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's why whenever me and Zach went to Micro Center, dude, we tried to get out of there so fast because there were so many fucking people in there. Everybody was wearing a mask, but still, I mean, it's so packed. You're basically shoulder to shoulder.
Have you seen the lines that are forming at these testing centers? It's insane. They wait in their cars, and the lines would go down forever, like a mile down the road. Like, it's crazy. Like, the lines, it's just everybody's getting tested now.
And the thing is, a lot of those are appointment only because they're super quick. Like, they go through super quick. You roll your window down, they swab your nose, and you go on about your day. So it's actually really, really quickly done. Because we had a customer come in one day, and he actually ended up testing positive for the coronavirus before he came in. But he said he had an appointment, and the line was like, they said it was like a 4-hour wait with the appointment because of how many people that were there. And I think, honestly, they should just test everybody because, like they said, some people might not ever get symptoms, and at least find out. Because if I have it or if you have it, James, and we just go see our grandmas, right, it could put their lives in danger because we don't even know that we have it because we don't have any of the symptoms.
Yeah.
They just need to, I know people want to slow down on testing, but I think they need to test way more.
Oh, no, that's transparency.
Yeah, just keep testing till you figure it out. But again, a lot of Americans wouldn't even want to get tested.
Are other countries testing like crazy like this? Like some of the one numbers claim that they're less. Are they testing more or testing less?
So South Korea actually had the best response to this because they did the full lockdown, and then I think after the lockdown, like the initial flattening of the curve, they did.
They just killed everybody that had it.
No, South Korea, South
Not
Korea,
China, dude.
not China and North Korea, South Korea, the good one. Yeah, they did drive-through testing. They're the ones that started that. They're the ones that started the drive-through testing, and they basically, yeah, they tested literally everybody, and it was free. You ran in, did your test, got out, boom, boom, boom. They'd give it back, let you know, and then they started doing contact tracing. So if you tested positive for it, they'd go to every single person that you went. They were really, really methodical about it, and they did really good work. And they're fucking right next to China, right next to the outbreak, and they stomped it right in the fucking. So there's definitely like countries like that literally have the good response, and it kind of makes you wonder like where
South Korea is so smart.
well, it makes you wonder that we're the most fucking richest country on earth, but we handled this so poorly.
Yeah, we don't know how to utilize like what we have to our best advantages when it comes to anything.
We're the worst at being the best, boys.
We are.
Hey, that's in itself good, right? It's like a double negative doesn't make it makes it positive, right?
Yeah, dude. We're the worst at being the best. And there's no getting around it either.
You can't tell us different.
America, the okay.
The somewhat tolerable.
Dude, do you guys think that like what would your choice for national anthem be? If we ever had to change it, what's one song you would want it to be?
Old Town Road.
Oh no.
I could get with that, dude. Just stand there, Pledge of Allegiance, and the national anthem, and they just start playing Old Town Road.
I don't know. I don't. It's not like I'm in my fucking house, like hand over my heart, like when the national anthem's going off. So.
Yeah. Well, that's because you're an American.
Yeah, I guess I am. I just don't. I don't like see like. I don't see it like. I know it was a lot of drama about it in the recent years, but I mean, I get that it may have like racist origins and stuff like that. I've heard that before, but I don't. I've never been like, oh, I don't want to sing this national anthem. I don't sing the national anthem. I don't get it. I don't get all the hype around it.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Like when what's his face, Kaepernick was taking a knee, like as a form of protest, and people were getting so upset. I think that's stupid. Like, it's weird how it's almost like cult like ish, or
it is. It's like a cult.
Almost like dictator-ish, where it's like people get super mad at you for not obeying the song, or not bowing down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is, Kaepernick actually started by sitting on the bench during the national anthem. Like he just sat there, didn't knee, didn't stand, nothing. He just sat on the bench. And one of his ex-teammates, Nate Boyer, I think, was a veteran. He was a Marine, and he was pissed that Kaepernick was sitting. And then he actually had a conversation with Kaepernick and told him, and he understood why. But he said, just find something more respectful, and basically said, just take a knee, because you take a knee in front of and when your brothers die in the military, or you even take a knee when you're on a baseball or football team when the other player gets hurt. It's out of respect a lot of the times. And I know he's protesting the national anthem, but it's not just about the national anthem and the flag. It was always about so much more. And I think that if people actually listened to him in the beginning, I don't think the protests and riots would have happened this year. I truly believe that if people took more of an initiative to kind of help get rid of that systemic racism.
I don't think that there is really getting rid of it. I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's what I
Oh
believe
no,
that
it's never. Yeah, it's never gonna go away completely. Never.
Well, I think there's a possibility of it going away completely, but I just don't think it's going to happen within our lifetimes. Like, obviously, you can make strides and stuff towards it, but 400 years of systemic racism, it doesn't just go away within one lifetime. I feel like the Colin Kaepernick thing was a just giant fucking straw man, just a giant straw man.
And the thing is that that was in what 2016, right? 2015, 2014, something like that. Trump tweeted about it because he had already said that he was running for president, and it pissed off a lot of people. Like when he tweeted and said that, it riled up his fan base. What?
Trump was for it or against it?
He was way against it.
Okay.
He said it was disrespecting America, disrespecting the flag. But I mean, why would you want to stand for a flag with the history that it has? And why would you like? So when soldiers fight, they fight for our freedoms.
Well, I don't think he was like even I don't think he was even kneeling because of the flag or the anthem or the country.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it had nothing to do with it.
It was police brutality, wasn't it? That's where I think the straw man comes into play, because they turned it into something like you don't care about the country, you're disrespecting your soldiers, blah 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 blah. In reality, they're like protesting racial injustice within the police department. And
right, so you shouldn't say like, why should you have to stand for a flag because of the history behind it, because that had nothing to do with
I wasn't finished. But so when soldiers fight overseas, right, they're fighting for our freedom, and they're fighting for the country, but the national anthem is basically for them, right? Not necessarily for them, but it means a lot more to them than it does everybody else. And when there's just not that same, like when there's not that equality, I wouldn't, like, I stand every time and I put my heart over my chest, but I understand why people wouldn't want to stand, because the national anthem is for the country, for the military and stuff like that. And whenever there's stuff like that going on, it just doesn't make sense to want to stand for it anyways.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's a tricky road to cross, because it's like there are people that are out there dying, for us pretty much.
But they're also fighting for equality and everything too. They're fighting so everyone has the same freedoms and liberties that everybody else does.
I feel like no matter what happens with protesting wise, like in my mind, and this is just my privilege talking, that they're gonna move the goalpost. I feel like,
it's always gonna be something.
You protest at a football game for a national anthem, you're disrespecting our soldiers. You protest this. There's always gonna find something wrong with it. So it doesn't matter what you do, so you might as well just do it.
Right. It's why I don't like politics, because I see the argument between both sides, and there's always an argument. Like there's never not an argument.
Yeah, I definitely see it from both sides, but like I said, he was told by someone in the military that kneeling would be more respectful than just sitting.
Right. I'm sure there's military that agree, and there's some that don't.
Oh, there is, dude. We had two people in the shop. It was a few years ago. Well, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And they were watching football, and then they started talking about Kaepernick, and I walked out of the room, and they almost got into a fist fight, dude. Like they were yelling at each other and all that shit. And I don't understand why people get so upset about other people's views. Like, get that upset, because you always want to help teach people stuff that they don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, but most people aren't listening to teach. Like, if you're getting into an argument with somebody, they're not there to learn. They're there to tell you what they think, and you're there to tell them what you think. And nobody's gonna change their opinion on anything. So arguing about anything is dumb.
Basically, yeah, I'm not there to teach them. It's not my job to teach people to fucking do shit. Just like it's not their job to teach me.
What, Zach?
I said, and they're not gonna learn, even if you were teaching them. Like, even if you were trying to teach them, they're they're not